Welcome to another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. Once again here talking about pattern collecting. This time I dug some guns out of the back of my safe that haven't seen daylight in a couple of months. These are Beretta Semi-Automatic Pistols. Now these vary in caliber, starting out with the 850 BS and 22 short, going to a Model 21A and 22 long rifle, a Model 21A and 25 ACP, a Model 85 BB in 380 ACP, and finished up with my 92 FS in 9mm and 22 long rifle. Now again, the idea behind pattern collecting is really collecting several types of a single brand of firearm or of a single model of firearm that you like for various different reasons. Now this 950 BS is a 22 short only pistol. And the 950 is pretty unique. It fires like a 1911, meaning it's a single action only. You have to have the hammer cocked in order to fire this gun. But it does have a very short and crisp trigger pull. I had actually looked at a Model 950 BS in 25 Auto before I bought my Raven P25, but it actually sold before I had a chance to go buy it. So this one came up at a time when I had the money to buy it. It's in pretty good shape. Came with a nice leather holster and 2 magazines. So the cool thing about this one, in addition to all that, is that this one came with a factory gold base plate magazine, which just adds a little bit to the bling and the appeal of this Beretta. This Beretta Model 21A has been on my channel a couple of times. I mentioned before that I bought this off a friend of mine. This one is in 22 long rifle, and these magazines I believe hold 7 rounds. You can fit an 8th round in the magazine, but if you put it in there, the gun will not cycle properly. And just like the Model 850 BS, this has a tip-up barrel as well, and it's just another line of the small pocket pistols that Beretta made. Now the Model 21A, unlike the 950 BS, is a double to single action trigger, meaning the first time you pull the trigger, it will cock the hammer and fire the gun, and then once the action cycles, it will load a new round into the chamber and you'll have a much lighter trigger pull. Up next is my Model 21A and 25 ACP, and exactly like the Model 21A and 22 long rifle, this is a double to single action trigger, and I believe this magazine also holds 7 rounds. The nice thing about this and the 21A and 22 long rifle is you can still buy the magazines for these, they're readily available, whereas the 950 BS, if you find a magazine for those, they tend to be very pricey. But all in all, these small pocket pistols are a joy to shoot, and I'm proud to have them. Next in the lineup is my Beretta Cheetah Model 85 BB. This one's been on my channel several times as well. I bought this one from Classic Firearms, and this is a 380 ACP mid-size single stack semi-automatic pistol. Like the 21A, this is a double to single action trigger, and I will say that this gun is an absolute pleasure to shoot. It has very light recoil, fast follow-up shots, easy target acquisition, and it has very light recoil. And then lastly, my Model 92 FS, which also has been on my channel several times. I bought this one long before COVID, which is great because the prices on these have almost doubled. And this particular one is in 9mm parabellum. I also have a 22 long rifle conversion barrel and slide for this, so I can shoot it in either 9mm or 22 long rifle. And this is probably one of the nicest pistols that I own. It's a joy to shoot. It has great target acquisition, fast follow-up shots, and very light recoil. Beretta's early naming convention named all of their pistols after cats. So the 950 BX is a minx, the 21As are bobcats, the 85 is a cheetah, and the 92 is just called the 92 FS. Or if it was the military pistol, it was the M9. However you stack it, the Beretta pistols are excellent shooters. They have good resale value. They're very reliable. They're very accurate, and they're just a joy to collect. So like everything else, this is another video in my pattern collecting series talking about the Beretta Semi Auto line of pistols. Now there are a lot of other models out there. There's the 3032 Tomcat, and there's a whole bunch of other smaller caliber pistols from the early days in the early 1900s. But for me, these are the quintessential pistols that I wanted to collect. Maybe someday I'll get some more, but for now, this is the collection that I have. Thanks for watching another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. Make sure you support your 2A rights, get out there and shoot, and remember that if somebody asks you to give up some of your freedom for the greater good, tell them that freedom is the greater good.